Good morning, everybody. In this week's epic Parsha, God decides it's time to take the Jewish people out of the land of Egypt. And he tells Moses, I am the Lord your God, and I am here to take you from underneath the burden of the Egyptian servitude, and I will lead you out with an outstretched arm, and I will take you to me as a people, and I will bring you to the land of your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In other words, what God is telling Moses is, I'm taking you out of Egypt, but not just so that you can be free from the burden of Egyptian servitude, but there's a purpose to it, to be a nation to me, to be my people, and where? In the land of Israel. I have to tell you about an incredible experience I had this morning. A friend of mine said, I want to take you somewhere. I said, where are we going? He said, trust me. So we got up very early in the morning and we drove south, past Hebron, into the fields and the hills and the Judean mountains. And we went there and we met a man named Eliashiv. A man, he's really a kid. He's in his late 20s, and his wife and his 3 children. And they lived there in a little caravan surrounded by land. What's the story? Basically, this is land that is owned by the state of Israel that's being encroached upon by some neighbors that are less than friendly. And he and his wife have decided that they love the land of Israel so much, and they're so committed to Eretz Yisrael and to building this land, that they decided they're going to go out there and they're going to protect the land and guard this piece of land. Well, it's beautiful, and we met him, and they're inspiring, but there's more to the story. You see, last week on Wednesday, my friend Donnie brought a group of girls from a seminary to go meet Eliashiv and his family. And they met, and he told the whole story about why they're there and what they're doing there, and they left. Less than 5 minutes later, an Arab who was not supposed to be on the property entered into the farm, into the property, and he attacked this young man, Eliashiv, and he stabbed him twice, once in the back of the head and once in the neck. Miraculously, he was completely okay. I mean, he went to the hospital. He was released 24 hours later. It was a total, complete miracle. Why did this miracle happen? You see, my friend Donnie had lost his grandfather that week. In fact, this was the second day of the Shiva for his grandfather. And I went to the funeral. And one of the things they talked about at the funeral was how committed this man was, the grandfather was, to always praying with a minyan, with a quorum. So when Donnie went to visit the farm that day, it was almost time to daven mincha. The sun was coming down, and he looked around, and he was there, and Eliashiv was there, and there were a few other men there, and he counted, and there were 9. There was an electrician that was there that was doing some work on the farm, a Jewish electrician. And Donnie said to him, hey, would you mind staying just for a few minutes so we can have a minyan? And the electrician said, sure, I'll stay. And they did their minyan, they prayed, they said Kaddish, and then they left. What happened? 3 minutes after they left, that terrorist came onto the land, attacked Eliashiv, and as he was lying there bleeding, the electrician who was armed pulled out his gun and killed the terrorist on the spot. Had he not been there, Eliashiv would have been murdered in cold blood. Why was he there? Because of this incredible moment that my friend said, let's make a minyan right now. This is what it means to love Eretz Yisrael, to be committed to this land so much, so deeply, that every inch of it, every tiny little part of it is precious to us. Why? Because it was the land of our patriarchs. Why did God take us out of Egypt? So that we could come here and be a nation here and be a light unto the other nations, serving Hashem in this land. I'm going to include after this video some pictures that I took of Eliashiv and a video. The last one is, I advise discretion. Young children shouldn't look at it, but you can see in the back of his head where he was attacked. It was literally a miracle. This happened Wednesday of last week. Today is Friday, and we went to visit him. We brought him gifts and his children gifts and things, sweet candies for Shabbat. And he's out there 8 days after this attack, farming the land, shepherding his sheep on the land, protecting the land, and guarding it from people that want to take it away from us. This is what it means to love Eretz Yisrael. Wishing everybody a wonderful Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom from Jerusalem.